Hey guys, welcome back to my channel in this video. Right now we're doing a very low-key I need to stop saying that because I'm often low-key casual, but it's one of them days. I'm currently wearing my Snoody Oodie Woody that I got for Christmas. So yeah, it's purple. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's literally me. But today I'm going to be talking about my 2023 reading and content channel goals, okay? Because I don't know, I've been watching everyone's content around this. Like, I've been watching everybody else's videos of this, and I love watching it. Like, I just think that it's such a good video. I love watching it, and I find it really interesting when I watch other people do it. So I thought I might as well do it myself. Another thing is that I think it's actually really good to have goals, although I was kind of a bit like, I don't want to stress myself out, so I'm not stressing myself out, hence why I'm wearing a Snoody Oodie Booty. But yeah, I don't know, I was a bit nervous, and I didn't know if I had anything concrete at the time, but literally as soon as I started thinking it, I came up with a list pretty easily, so that was a sign to me to do it. And the thing is, I love New Year's resolutions. I know not everybody else does, but me personally, I enjoy them. Whether I stick to them or not, I don't stress myself out, and that's the key to this. So, with that in mind, let's just get cracking, and let's just start. So first of all, should we go book or content first? I feel like we'll go with my bookish reading goals first. So the first one is that I want to read more diversely. Now, watching Capri's Bookland, I'm envious. She spent the whole of 2022 reading exclusively from Black authors, and I love that, and I love watching her channel. I find it so amazing, and I wish I could say I'm like that, but it's not realistic for me, and also it's not something that I really want to do, read exclusively from Black authors, although I think it would be great, but personally that's not what I want to do. But I do want to read more diversely, and I want to read more diversely in terms of race, which is why I'm bringing that up, but also I want to read more diversely in terms of where the authors are from. You know what I mean? Like, I want to read more across the globe, like not just from a Eurocentric or Western perspective. I want to read books that are from Polish authors or Cuban authors. So it's just random countries that just came to my head right now. But for example, that's when I want to read diversity in terms of like the globe. That would be a really, really good thing for me to do, which I kind of have a challenge linked to this, but I low-key don't know if I'm going to be able to do it 100%. Anyway, I'm going to make a separate video on all of my reading challenges for 2023, because I actually have quite a few. I don't know who I think I am, but that's where it's at. As well as that, I also want to read more diversity in terms of sexuality and gender and all of that good stuff, because what can I say? I feel like I don't want to do it in terms of authors, because number one, finding out that information is kind of hard, and two, like, you know, I don't want to be like that invasive in the author, to be honest. I don't deep dive into the author in many other ways, so to just be like, what's the sexuality is a bit much. So mainly, I suppose, from the perspective of the characters in the book, and it has to be the main character, because what's the point? Side characters, like, I mean, it's great. That's not, actually, let me take that back. Like, there is a point. But for me, in terms of what I want more at the forefront, telling their own stories, being the main characters. That's what I want. I especially want to read more from non-binary characters. I feel like this year, I can't even think of a single book that I read with a non-binary main character. I also think I want to read more with trans characters. Again, I don't think I read a lot from trans characters. Stuff like that. I definitely want to prioritize reading ace books next year as well. All of those things, I think, for me personally, is what I mean when I want to read more diversity. Now, I will accept that I'm also a heavy mood reader, and a lot of the books that I hear about or I come across, they are by cis, white, you know what I mean? Like, that sort of perspective, which is absolutely fine. So, yeah, I want to leave room for me to read whatever the hell I want to read, whether it's by a white woman born and raised in America, or if it's from a Cuban non-binary author. You know what I mean? So, with that, what I've done because I've created my own reading journal this year, I might do a, flip through as well. Another video I might do. We'll see. Ask me why I made it when I could have just bought it. Anyways, well, actually, I wanted to customize it, make it more myself, and it's building skills. Anyway, let me stop rambling about that. But yeah, I made it, and I've decided 52 books on the bookshelf is what I've got. So I want to read at least 52 books that I would count as diverse, because I think that's a good amount. Now, I mean, it might get to the end of the year and it might get to 2024 reading goals and I'm like, it wasn't enough, or I might read more, I might read less, but that is my goal. I think I definitely read over 100 books every single year, which is really good. But 52 books, that's one book a week. I don't think that's too much to ask for, personally. For someone who reads at least 100 books a year, it's like, I think that I'm doing okay. Moving on. The next one is to read more indie / self-published books. Basically, what I'm talking about is I want to read books from outside of like the big 5 publishers and outside of big publishers, because I listened to the quick book reviews with Philippa, and on one episode recently she had Hopek books and Orenda books come on, actually, and listen to them talk about, especially because they're both sort of crimey indie publishers. It was very interesting to me, and it made me realize like how important, well, for me, it makes me feel it's very important to read books from these publishers and like not to just rely on big books and all of that stuff. Like stuff that I shouldn't say you. I'm trying not to like speak for other people, but for me, it's stuff that I already know, but it's sort of like, this is just a kick up my bum to prioritize that. Now, I don't have a set goal on this, it's just more of something that I want to be thinking about and trying to prioritize. So yeah, I don't know how that's going to manifest, how it's going to shape, how it's going to end up being in 2023, but it's a reading goal that I have in my head that I hopefully will be able to figure out. Another kind of small low-key thing that, again, I'm not really gonna put too much emphasis on is I want to track my DNFs. Now, this is also in my reading journal that I've added a page, and I just want to start writing them down. Now, I know a lot of people like log their and how far they got into the book. All of that's too much for me. It's literally just like DNF what month, because for me it's just going to be too much asking me to DNF, because I don't even think I necessarily hard DNF very much, because I'm such a mood reader. Sometimes I'll pick up a book, I'll get certain way through it, and then I'll just stop, right? And I'm kind of soft DNFing it, not saying that I'll never read it again. It's not harsh feelings necessarily, but I still feel like it'll be good to track that, and I feel like it's content that I would want to share with you. Like, I'm going to tell you the books that didn't actually quite make it into the being read. The thing is, I spend a lot of my time reading, so I have a lot of stats and stuff, and I think that sometimes I get a bit overwhelmed with stats, and so DNFing, it might become a thing where I'm like, I can't be bothered to track this, which is fair enough. Like, as I said, almost once a year I stop tracking on Goodreads. Okay, almost once a year, definitely, I'm just like, oh, forget it, and I never track anything, and I try and like retrospectively add it in, but sometimes I forget books, I don't add it. It's not that deep to me. I mean, it kind of is a bit like, oh, why would I forget? But at the same time, you know, so if I don't track all of my DNFs, I'm not going to get mad, but at least making that effort to at least write down some of them would be good for me. Talking about writing, my last one before my big update is I want to write more reviews. For me personally, I think it's a muscle that needs stretching. I feel like, okay, it's great being able to sit down and talk, but also the way that I sit down and talk isn't the most professional or anything, but I feel like it's good being able to like already speak about it, but I also want to flex that muscle of writing about the books that I read. Like, you know, what if I want to write a blog in the future? Not necessarily saying that I do, but like, if I wanted to create a blog, I want to be able to have that skill and it's not be like a massive thing for all of a sudden me to have to like write down what I think about books. So, and also I just think it's good personally for me, and I just think it's good, and being able to write down what I'm feeling as soon as I finish it, because I read so many books, I literally sometimes I forget. My memory is terrible, it leaves my brain, so sometimes I do like having a review there to look back and see what I thought immediately after finishing it. So yeah, that is a priority. But again, as I said, sometimes I stop logging on Goodreads, so if I just stop at some point, that's okay. I'm not being too harsh on myself. For the last bookish reading goal, this is a biggie. It's my reading to zero. Woo! let's get into it. So if you don't know, this year I started my Reading to Zero challenge, and I made a whole video about it, but it's basically where I want to try and read my physical TBR shelf. And I started it, and I made sort of a game around it in order to encourage me, but I didn't really change the way I read in any way. And I think that was my main problem. I feel like I didn't really think, well, I did think, and I knew it was going to be a challenge, but I didn't really think about how much I was going to have to, like, literally change the way I read, because I don't read physically a lot, which is fine, but it's not fine when I'm trying to read the books out of my TBR, and there's only so much that I can be reading it mixed media, if that makes sense, because there's no point me, like, buying the audiobook from, like, Audible or something, and buying the book again, when the whole idea is to, like, read off my shelves and stop, like, buying books and I'm not reading. Do you know what I mean? For me personally, it just doesn't make much sense. So that's all the reason behind it. But this year, I barely read anything off of my shelves that I said I was going to read. I did read certain books off of my shelves, not very many, but a few, but they were nothing to do with my Reading to Zero. Like, it wasn't to do with my TBRs. So for now, it needs a bit of a rehaul. What do I think? So far, I think I'm going to do quarterly updates for Reading to Zero. I think I'm going to really get knuckled down with, like, logging all of the books that I have and, like, being really on top of it and tracking how many books I've read off my shelves, so we can be more concrete, so that we can have more of a goals and stuff. And I think if I have quarterly updates, it will keep it fresh in my brain and it will keep me accountable to actually read from my shelves. On top of that, I don't know, I like playing other people's TBR games. I think I'm still going to do that, but I think I'm going to switch up how often I do that, when I do that, what books I'm picking up for it. Like, I don't know, I just feel like some stuff needs to be done with my Reading to Zero. It is definitely going to be a priority for me next year, like 2023. It's definitely going to be a priority. Watch this space. That is my 2023 reading goal, to make headway on my Reading to Zero. In terms of content goals, I would like to organise my uploading schedule. Now, I currently upload whenever the hell I want, just, like, very free flowing, because for me right now, I'm still in my infancy as a channel, and I know I'm supposed to have been posting for a couple months now, but I'm still figuring it out. I'm still fairly new, in my opinion. Like, I'm less than a year. I want to say I'm 6 months maybe, if that. Oh gosh, that 6 months went fast, but I would say, and I didn't really, like, sit down and figure out how I was doing things before I started, because I was like, if I do that, how long is it going to postpone me from starting? Like, just upload a video, just upload it, and what happens, we'll learn on the job sort of vibe. So 2023 is more learning on the job, but we want to sort of create some more structure with it. I want to have a regular uploading day of the week. Right now I'm going to say leave it as one day of the week. I want to upload every single week of that. But I most likely will be posting maybe a second video a week, and we'll see. I don't want to, like, say a definite day for the second day, because there might be some times where my life is busy and I can't upload another day, or, you know, or things happen and I need a bit of flexibility in my life. So for one day, I think that one day is going to be Monday. Tentatively, Mondays are going to be my regular upload date. Also, I really love it when someone has a regular upload day. It makes me really happy, like, especially with podcasts and stuff. So I know how being consistent is really, really good. So hopefully, fingers crossed, Mondays. I will update you, whether it's in a community post, maybe it's somewhere else. I'll say it somewhere. Talking about that, I want to be more happy and consistent with my editing. As I said, I'm learning on the job, so right now things are in flux. I'm changing things, I'm adding intros, I'm taking out intros, I'm adding outros, and I'm taking out outros, and I'm changing my I'm not really changing my thumbnails right now, but I'm planning to change up my thumbnails. I'm planning to change up my editing software. Like, I'm really just getting into the groove of what I want from my videos, what I want from my channel, sort of things like that, right? So right now it's not really that consistent, which is fine by me for now. I just want to be like, okay, this is what I do. Sit down, edit, boom. and I know what I'm doing every single time. You guys know what to expect when you click on my videos if you're a regular returner. Do you know what I mean? That is what I want for myself. It might take me all year. I might get to the end of the year and be like, actually, I was never happy with it. But at least trying, at least flexing that muscle, trying to figure out what works for me, what doesn't work for me. That is basically what I want for my content in 2023. Okay, and so for the big content goal that I want to achieve is I'm going to create content or videos, sorry, I keep saying content, but I want to create videos that are more fresh and more current. Okay, so as in, for example, when things are happening, things in the social media, things just that are, you know, going around the trends of the moment, not necessarily in the books. That's also what I want to say. I don't want to necessarily be like fresh with bookish content. I want to be fresh with like content outside of Booktube and transferring that over and somehow relating that to my channel, because when I see people do that, it makes me so happy. It's the content that I love to see. I'm actually like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Like being able to transfer other popular things into and make it relevant to Booktube is something that I would just love, and I don't think it naturally comes to me. I think it's something that I'll have to work on, something that I'll have to keep like, you know, refreshing with myself, like, oh, what's popular, like what can I use, like who was it Cara who did her reading Wrapped, like in the theme of Spotify Wrapped, and I absolutely love that, because if you don't know, on TikTok especially, well, it's actually many layers of stuff, but Spotify, the music platform, they create their reading Wrapped, so they tell you like, oh, here's your 2023, here's your music over the year. And on TikTok, loads of people started doing their year of dating Wrapped, right? And they would create a PowerPoint and they're like, this is my 2023, well actually it was 2022 dating Wrapped. Now lots of different brands do it, like here's your 2022 in whatever, right? Insert thing here. And Cara, for example, she did her 2022 reading Wrapped in the style of those like TikTok videos, and that is just so fresh. It's so like on the ball, and I absolutely loved it. It was amazing, and I was like, I need to be more current like that. I know how it feels to be like, oh my gosh, that's so clever, and I want to be the person inspiring that. Oh my god, that's so clever. So that's my main thing. I think, again, this is something that's gonna have to take time. I'm gonna have to work on, because it's about being creative. It's about being creative, and not that I'm not a creative person, but I think that my creativity is in a different area right now, and I need to kind of like shoom, and kind of keep myself on the ball. Although I'm terrible with social media, so anyways, TikTok I'm a bit better though, so it's fine. And finally, let's go more of a vibe for 2023 is I want more subscribers, but with content that I enjoy. Now, me personally, I'm not really a subscriber-led person, as in like, it's great, I love looking at the numbers. I need to make my 100 subscriber video, so if you have any questions for me, put that in the description. I need to do that soon, but I just had loads of like content from Vlogmas I had to upload, so I figured I'd do it in the new year. Anyway, all of that to say, I love having my subscribers and stuff, but I see a lot of booktubers and they're like, you know, I want to maintain doing content that I enjoy, and they like have to find the balance between content that's popular and videos that they want to do. And right now I'm just doing videos that I want to do, and so that's what I want for 2023. Even as I am on Booktube longer, I still want to maintain that essence of I'm here for enjoyment. I'm here for your enjoyment and my enjoyment, and I'm not gonna let numbers cloud me. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I know it's very hard and it's easy to say when I don't have like a big massive audience, but hopefully I don't want to let numbers cloud me too much. I want to continue to create things that I enjoy, and I have lots of like video ideas that I think are fun, things that, you know, for me are important. Like I want to have more reading like me videos. I have other video series I want to start. I want to do more the classics, the retellings videos, like I did the Christmas Carol, reading a Christmas Carol and its retellings. And I want to do more of that. It started at Christmas, but I want to do more of that. So just regular classics and their retellings. So those are some things that I'm already doing that I want to continue, but there are other things that I want to continue. So on that note, I'm done. Cheers. Yeah, those are my goals for the year. And let me know what you think. If you have any thoughts about it and what my goals are, tell me what your goals are too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I mean that. All of you guys, I really appreciate you. Going into the new year, I always find it good to like express gratitude for the things that you're happy about in 2022. And I want to express gratitude for all of the people who have subscribed to me over this year. I'm literally a new channel and I just uploaded my videos, and some of you guys decided to stay and decided to watch, and that makes me extremely happy. So thank you, and see you in the new year. Bye guys!